Well, hello. Thank you. And these are going to be a series of short recordings to thank everybody for their concern and explain what's been going on and why I haven't been on my blog. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit about my medical condition, not for sympathy or for any other reason than to give out the information and so that you can understand why certain things are the way they are. Now, I have a whole host of serious medical issues, including bone condition where my bones are disintegrating and stuff like that, dying in random spots and overgrowing in others and malformed in that. I have all the arthritises except rheumatoid, which is really surprising. I have issues with autoimmune. I am anemic because my bones are not producing enough red blood cells, and um, that's just some of the issues. I have an artificial hip and damage to different parts of my body. Right now, the biggest issue is my spine. Um, my last MRI, which was just a few months ago, showed that actually I had improved in some areas, but it also showed greater damage in the lower areas, and some of the nerves are being severely compromised. What that means is that sometimes I get incredible pains or I lose the ability to walk. One of my legs just won't function, won't respond to my brain. The muscles in it won't hold my weight. But there's nothing wrong in the leg per se. There's nothing other than the damage that's already there. There's no new damage or anything in the hips. It's all because the nerves from my spine are telling the brain that my hip has been badly damaged or broken or something, and it's actually cutting off. It gets to the point where the pain is so much that the way the doctor explained it, it cuts off the signals from that nerve bundle or that nerve branch, and therefore I lose control of the leg. Um, this usually happens when I first get up from laying down or when I'm sitting for any length of time and go to stand. I have no control until I move around a bit and get the spine readjusted. Um, in some areas, my spine is deformed. In some areas, the disc material between the spines has either gone away or has pushed out, into the channels because they can do that, herniate and rupture. Um, in some areas, like I said, the nerves that are going through the spine are being severely compromised. They wanted to do back surgery on me, but they told me that if they ever did, it would be something I would have to continue doing the rest of my life. They would have to continue to go in and shave and reshape as my spine changed. And right now they're talking about fusion, and I don't want a fusion. I've seen people with fusions, and it will make my life miserable. And once done, it can never be undone. Now, I say all that not for any kind of sympathy, and I'll explain why. I have the greatest system of support in the world. No one could have any better. Ron treats me like a complete queen, like a princess in a castle. I have to do nothing, absolutely nothing. And he won't allow me to do anything because the doctors have told him about the damage and how even lifting a small item can hurt me. Bending, kneeling, crawling, all these things can damage me. I went to clean the cat box one day and I slipped and fell and I couldn't get back up. It took me 20 minutes to get up. He was gone, James was gone. So now I'm not even allowed to clean the cat box. I say allowed because it makes him so upset if I try to do things. There are some minor things I can do, like if they take the clothes out of the dryer and set them on the bed, I can fold them or hang them up. Um, Small areas I can sweep up. I mean, I'm not totally invalid. I'm not back in the wheelchair like I used to be. And there is a problem where I may have to start using it. The doctor's talking about me going back to a scooter and that because I can't walk any distances and so forth. The reason why posting has been a problem is because of my hands. Um, I haven't really been able to try to type. I'm just like mashing keys and jerking, and that's the other thing. I have incredible spasms and um, I don't know how to describe it. It's tremors, you know. Only they're not tremors like I don't shake all the time. All of a sudden my hand will go. So if I'm trying to do something, and so it's a little frustrating. But I want you to know on the other side of the coin is the mental emotional. Um, I had a serious mental issues, and I am undiagnosed bipolar, where I used to be manic depressive, is actually what they'd say. At one point, I'd be incredibly manic. And this was back when I was younger in my 20s, and I'd be incredibly manic, and then so down in that I couldn't get out of bed. But that seems to be gone away. Now, my problem is that if I start thinking on sad things and or the past, issues that bring me to the brink of the vortex, I can get very, very depressed, down, unable to come back out of it. Um, Before I stopped working, I was cutting myself again and doing self-harm. I was emotionally just a wreck and mentally a wreck. And I was crying constantly, you know. Anytime I was alone, I was bawling my eyes out and that. So all of these issues came to a head, and we've been working on them, repairing them, and I was doing really, really great. And of course, I love my blog, and I love the people I meet. You guys are so fantastic, so exciting, so wonderful. Each of you has a story that is incredible, and your lives are wonderful for me to hear about and to know, and I'm so grateful for knowing all of you. But this last week, everything got to be too much, and I couldn't even sit at my computer. I couldn't watch TV, YouTube, or whatever. And I went to bed for a few days. The pain was so incredible that even the massive amounts of medicines I take, and I take serious medication, and Ron was going to call them and have them up it. But right now, the problem is if I take too much of the medication, I can't think anyway. And I get so tired that all I want to do is sleep, you know. I sleep probably more than any other human that I know of. I go to bed early most of the time. I sleep till 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Ron says that he thinks what happened was this last week my anemia got so bad that I was not getting any nutrients in that. And that's the other thing. I go through periods where I don't want to eat. Well, when you don't do much, eating, you're not really get that hungry. You get hungry like once a day and you eat one thing and you're full, you know. So the doctor has told Ron that he's supposed to get me to eat 4 times, small amounts a day, 4 to 5 times. And my diabetic condition has gotten worse. Okay. So all these things built up is what I'm trying to say. So I've been meaning to start reading more again. And I have series of books that on my iPad. Ron lets me buy books, movies, whatever. And he bought me this brand new iPad this year. It's the newest model and it's great and I love it. So I just took my iPad and went to bed and started reading. Well, once I read the first book, and I read it like in a day and a half or a day, I wanted to read the second. And there's 5 in the series. And now I'm up to the 4th one. I'm halfway through it, or 3/4 the way. But luckily, I've healed a lot. Just doing nothing, just resting. And he's been shoveling food into me till I point where I throw up. And that's not good, but you know, he's trying so hard to get me to get nutrition and to eat and that. And before you ask if I can take vitamins, no, I can't, because it interferes with other things, my meds and my bone condition. So um, I was, I just took a siesta, let's say. But I'm grateful for everybody that asked, that contacted me and wanted to know what was going on. And I'm going to ease back into it. I'm not going to go to the point where I can't stand it anymore. But as you've noticed, I've sat here now for 10 minutes and I've fidgeted some, but it's not overwhelmingly incredibly painful where I just can't stand it. I have to get up or I'm screaming or whatever. But it's building. I need to move. And so I'm going to stop this. I want to thank each and every one of you, and I'm grateful for it. And I will be blogging today. I may not blog a lot, and I may not get to each individual blog that I want to go to, and because I've got to go back now through a week's worth of posts and that. But if you have one that you think is really something I should read, or you think is really important for me to know, or a YouTube video that you think I really would enjoy, and I love science, I love learning and that, then please send me the link or send whatever. Okay. Like I said, I have a wonderful support system. Please don't ever feel sorry for me. I am well taken care of. I have medical insurance and I have great doctors. And so let's feel sorry for the people in this country that don't have these things. And thank you for understanding. I will be back to blogging, as I said, and I love my blog. So I'm going to start today. And I will, like I said, I will try to get to everybody. I won't be able to, obviously, because I have 3 columns, as I've explained, and I have to go through them and kind of deal with them. But I have one that has like 20, 25 in it, and the second one has 30 in it, and the next one has 48. And I try to kind of like pick one a day and go down through it, and the next day the next one, and the next day the next one, or I'll do bits of each one trying to remember which ones I got to and which ones I didn't. Okay, I really have to stop. My back is killing me. So blessings to all of you, for those who sent their wishes in the strength of the universe, to Michelle who prayed to her gods, and that I'm going to do one more video after this, and then but I'm going to take a break. Thanks. I'll be right back. Hugs.